Hi, Gerhard Bloom, once again, looking at the tyranny and the delusions of the social justice movement. So, congressional hearings, the presidents of Harvard, MIT, and University of Pennsylvania, they are asked explicitly if calling for the genocide of the Jews would violate their bullying and harassment policies. This is the answer that they give. Well, if it's persistent and targeted towards an individual, it might be, it's context dependent, calling for the genocide of Jews. Now, let's get this straight. This is calling for the mass murder of Jews, right? The extinguishment of Jews. That's what a genocide is. You know who didn't call for the genocide of the Jews? Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler, even he, that villainous monster who actually perpetrated a genocide of the Jews, did not publicly call out for the genocide of Jews. But now you get little social justice Nazis stamping their little Nazi boots, marching through universities and campuses all over the United States, Canada, Britain, Australia, all over the Western world. And this is being allowed to go on. And, furthermore, the presidents of, University of Pennsylvania, MIT, Harvard, well, if it moves beyond, just talk, right? If it involves action, like actually perpetrating genocide, you might not know this, but I know this. In Rwanda, just before the genocide of the Tutsis by the Hutus, where people picked up machetes and farm implements and slaughtered neighbors in the streets, they were calling for the genocide of the Tutsis. Yes, explicitly calling for the genocide. And coincidentally, shortly thereafter, there was a genocide or an attempted genocide. This is extremely, extremely dangerous. And these presidents of Harvard and MIT, UPenn, unbelievable. You were calling for the mass slaughter of people as a group based on, their inherent characteristics, whether it's racial identity or religious affiliation. You are done. You are off of this campus. But they can't bring themselves to do that. But you misgender somebody. You call Leah Thomas, William Thomas, well, you're dead naming him. And that's a violence. That's violence. That's not violence. You're just not being stupid. Leah Thomas is a dude, But they're trying to militantly coerce you into giving voice to this lie. And so you'd be punished. You'd be brought up in front of one of these kangaroo courts, as diversity, equity, and inclusion tribunals, and your little wings would be clipped. Yes. But you call for the genocide of Jews? Well, as long as you don't actually perpetrate a genocide, because if you did attempt to perpetrate a genocide, well, that would be harassment and bullying, right? Wouldn't it though? Absolute nonsense. These leftists, poisonous. And the good thing on this front is all of these elite universities, they are undercutting the value of their degrees. Why? Because they're admitting students without SAT scores, right? You have to write some kind of letter about how you've been, oppressed. And so everybody's angling in, how have they been oppressed? And, I'm a person of color, the inheritor of, oppression and bigotry. So let me in, even though I don't qualify academically. And I'm not talking about those who do qualify. You qualify, you qualify. I don't care what color you are. But you get in without the requisite qualifications, one of two things happen. They lower standards, or they just grade inflate. Either way, people will realize a degree from Harvard, Stanford, Yale, MIT, it is worthless. These elite universities used to get the best and the brightest minds in the nation. And that's why elite corporations and law firms and newspaper outlets, they hired these people preferentially because they're the greatest, brightest minds. But their minds were poisoned with ideological nonsense. And now you're going to have stupid people with ideological nonsense graduating from these elite universities. Well, they will lose whatever, prestige they once had, because people will realize you don't have to be one of the best and the brightest. You just have to, like Elizabeth Warren, be a pretend Indian, right? Pretend Indian. Nonsense. Anyways, these Harvard professors, yes, they should be fired, relieved by the trustees, or resign in absolute shame. Anyways, thank you so much for your time and attention. If you like the video, please do drop a thumbs up. If you've read my book, please do drop a review. It's available on Amazon. If you haven't picked it up, it's important. And not because I wrote it. I wrote it because the issues could not be more important. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Bye-bye now.